Hey YouTube, Satoshi Matrix here yet again bringing you another video. This time I wanted to talk about the Retro Duo, which is a Famiclone and Super Nintendo in one. When you buy the system, it comes with two of these Super Nintendo fake controllers, an S-video and composite video cable, and yeah, this system basically has excellent compatibility. It will play just about any NES game that you throw it at, including Castlevania 3 and other MMC5 games. It also will play just about any Super Nintendo game as well. Now, let's take a look at the controller. The controller, as you can see, is really shiny. It's basically the same design as a real Super Nintendo controller. Same shape, same size, same everything. Except the buttons don't feel the same. These buttons definitely feel far more clicky and pushy than, what they should. Also, the D-pad kind of sucks. Fortunately, you don't have to use these controllers at all. Real Super Nintendo controllers can be used with this system, as the system uses the Super Nintendo controller port standard. Now, what's interesting is the Super Nintendo controller port standard is used for both Super Nintendo games and regular Nintendo games. How does that work? Well, when Nintendo designed the Super Nintendo originally, they used the same control chip in the Super Nintendo controller as was used in the original Nintendo Entertainment System controller. What that means is that the command structure is the same. The buttons, the only difference is that there's the layout is a little different. But internally, the controllers are identical and compatible with each other. So, what you can do is you can take any NES game. Let's take RoboCop 3 here. Put that in. Turn it on. There it is. Then take the Super Nintendo controller. You can see Nintendo written right there. Take that. Plug that in. Take a Super Nintendo controller. Press start. And there we go. Super Nintendo maps the NES B button to Super Nintendo Y and the A button to the B button. This is a really natural, nice feeling means of controlling NES games. So RoboCop obviously works, so let's try something else. Now, because I know you guys would want to see it, I have a stress test games. I have a list of stress test games. So here's The Legend of Zelda. Putting that in the system. Works perfectly. Press start, press start. Now, one thing I should mention, when you buy the system, or at least this system that I bought, had sort of issues with its audio that it would produce for NES games. What would happen is the audio would be really scratchy and sort of be not correct. Now, I looked up online and discovered that there's actually a really simple fix for this. All you need is a single resistor and a capacitor. So if you have any soldering skills, just Google search, Retro Duo audio fix NES, and you should find, just what you need. All you need is just those two components. Like I said, it's a 407 cap, and I don't remember the resistor value. But anyway, it's online. Just Google it. So, there's Zelda. Let's try Battle Kid, which is from RetroZone. This is a RetroZone homebrew game. See if the Retro Duo will play it. And there it is, with a Super Nintendo controller. Now, if using a Super Nintendo controller to play NES games doesn't sit right with you, you can actually take a Super Nintendo cord and wire it to an NES controller and use that on a Retro Duo, and then it will work. So there, obviously it's working. moving on. Here's Master Chiu and the Drunker 2 with a really terrible worn label. Let's see if Color Dreams will run. What do you know? There it is. Pull that out. Notice how easy the games are to pull out too. Here's Action 52. Yeah, I know some of you guys would want to see this. So let's get this over with.
Make your selection now.
No. Alright, so that's done. Pull that out. Now, Retro Zones versus Super Mario Brothers Reproduction. Let's see if this will run. And what do you know? There it is. Now, just take your controller, press start and select together to insert coin. Again, awkward to do with one hand. Notice that audio. So, that's versus Super Mario Brothers. Pull that out. Tengen games. Here's Tengen's Tetris. Let's see what we get. What do you know? There's Tengen Tetris. There's Tetris. Now, one thing I should mention is that of all the games that I have, there's one that I have that doesn't work, and that's Tengen's Rolling Thunder. Now, I don't get it, because the other Tengen games do work, and this game isn't using any different mapper or anything, so I don't know why this game doesn't run. Put it in, and turn it on. Nothing. I don't know. There's always an Achilles heel to any Famiclone, so what are you going to do, right? Alright, so now let's try Famicom games, right? Because if you have an adapter, there's no reason why you shouldn't limit yourself to just NES games. So here's Akumajo Dracula, or Akumajo Special Boku Dracula-kun, which, or in English, this is basically Kid Dracula. This is the sequel or prequel to the Game Boy version that was released in North America, and this game is actually the better version. Well, in my opinion, anyway. So, let's put it into the adapter. Remember, Famicom games going backwards, so you have the label facing away from you. Put that into the system. Turn it on. Now, I don't know how well this is going to turn out. Keep in mind, I'm using an LCD TV, so... There it is. Pressing start. Alright, so let's try something else. Pull that out. Pull that out. And other games. Here's one of my favorites, Famicom Wars. You guys might remember this was my first video review ever. So, yeah. Famicom Wars. Put that in. Plug that in. Turn it on. And there it is. Famicom Wars. Load. There it is. Famicom Wars in all of its glory. Let's attack this guy. Alright, well, let's move on. Obviously, Famicom games work. So, let's see about Super Nintendo games. Here's one of my favorites, Donkey Kong Country 2. Simply put that into the front slot. Turn the slider forward to 16-bit. And of course, since we're using a Super Nintendo controller, we can immediately go ahead and play Super Nintendo games. I don't remember where I was. Okay, I'm back in the first world. First stage. Alright, let's try something else. Remember, just pull the game out. That's all there is to it. Let's see if the CX4 chip will run. Mega Man X2. Oh, whoops, wrong way. Let's try that again. Hold on. Sometimes these games can be stubborn. They are quite old, remember. There we go. Don't do that, but yeah, it works sometimes. There we go. Ah, my childhood. Alright, so there's Mega Man X2 running. But you guys are probably wondering, what about Star Fox? Star Fox, show me your might. And there it is, Star Fox running perfectly on the Retro Duo. Alright, well, let's speed through this, see what else I can have. Also, here's the Super FX 2 chip in Star Fox 2. This is the Star Fox 2 reproduction of the unreleased Star Fox 2. Let's see if it will run. And what do you know? Star Fox 2 running off of the reproduction cartridge on a reproduction Super Nintendo. Can't get more awesome than that. There it is, Star Fox 2. Alright, moving on. Let's see, what about Super Famicom games? This is Gokujo Parodius, or Ultimate Parodius. I think I said that right. Now, because the system has a slot that's wide enough for it, Super Famicom games fit in perfectly. Looks like I'm gonna have to blow into this one too. There we go. Try that again. Alright. Here's Gokujo Parodius. Yeah, never mind. Anyway. Too much fun. What about Super Famicom data cartridges? Plug that in. Let's see my pride and joy. See if it will run. There it is. And there it is. Super Famicom Wars. lastly, let's see if the Super Power Pack will play. Now, unfortunately, the NES Power Pack won't. So let's see if the Super NES version will. Turn it on, and hey, what do you know? Boot it up. See what we got. Hey, looks like it's one of my other favorite games. If you guys haven't figured this out yet, this is Famicom Detective Club, Part 2. I wrote a review for this game. Absolutely love it. Fantastic. Alright, well, in conclusion, you can see this thing plays quite a few games. It plays just about anything I throw at it. About the only games that I have that don't run are Rolling Thunder, made by Tengen for the NES, and Super Mario RPG for the Super Nintendo. Again, that's because it has a security chip that searches for the security chip in the real hardware that's missing on these clones. So no matter what these clones do, unless they want to get in legal issues with Nintendo, that's never going to happen. So overall, I have to give this one a big thumbs up. It's really good. Well, anyway, guys, thanks for watching, and catch my latest blog entries, and yeah, stay tuned to this channel for more. Talk to you later.